Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to a video. We're here with the latest premium Bandai SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z release, and that is Nail. I can't believe we've come this far that we actually have Nail. It is insane to think about it. I think about 4 or 5 years ago now actually, SDCC, they had a lineup of posters saying who do you think will come next, with like 7 different Namek figures, Nail being one of them. What else was there? There was like Kui, Fugly Boy Zarbon, the Namek Armor Vegeta and all them. And yeah, we have gotten them all. It's pretty crazy actually. Like we even have Guru coming soon, or Seichoro. So we basically have every single key Namek character now. Even Blue Top, Super Saiyan Goku went up from pre-order. So yeah, it is pretty good actually. I think the Namek is almost complete in terms of at least all the core characters. Some minor versions here and there would be cool, like a rival Goku with a Sensu pouch, right? But yeah, anyway, I am sick at the moment, so I do apologise if a bit more of a croaky voice or anything like that this time, but yeah, I really wanted to dive in and do the review for this figure. It came a couple of days ago here in Japan, obviously earlier in the month for those in the USA, so you've probably already had a good look at this figure, what it comes with. I'm just going to do a high level overview video, what it comes with, articulation, faces, and a bit of a breakdown for each part, and then yeah, my final thoughts on this release. And I gotta say, so far it is pretty damn good. But yeah, anyway, let's pop him out of the packaging so we can actually see what he does come with. So we have now in the center, we've got 4 additional faces. We've got neutral one, shouting one, teeth gritting, shouting with eye closed, and another battle damaged one, I think with some scuff marks even, which is really cool. We've got the neck warmer scarf thing that he has, so you can actually take the blue vest off and then just have that around his neck to recreate that version of him as well, which is great. And then we've got 3 additional pairs of hands, the kind of flat ones for stabbing, the gripping ones for flat hands, and then the most amazing effect part, the part which will detach from just below the elbow on his arm there, so you can get his whole, regenerative recreation hand, which is amazing. Some translucent green in there. Seriously, the best effect part. I really want an updated Dragon Ball Z Piccolo with those type of effects, or even like the stretchy bendy arms that the Luffy figure has in One Piece line. Imagine that, a full-on Piccolo with all those effects. Oh, that would be the pinnacle of badass. But anyway, now here does come with it first, and it is looking good. But yeah, anyway, let's pop them out of the packaging so we can check out the overall finish for this release. Okay, now is one badass Namek, Namekian. Anyway, so yeah, the finish itself, we got the matte finish for the outer jacket. It is a really thick rubber. I kind of wish they had taken reference from other lines such as Jujutsu Kaisen, which has a really thin, soft rubber, which I think would have worked better in this situation. However, it does look good. We do get some sculpt marks on the back. Not too many, it is more just a giant blanket wrapped around him, I would say though. But coming into the body, the pink parts are painted on his abs as well. We've got a lovely green colour for the actual skin, I guess it would be, for him. And then again with the face, it appears to look and match up really well. The top scarf warmer thing is looking like a nice kind of matte white colour, and then kind of a off-white, subtly grey pants, and there is some weathering and shading in there as well. It's probably a little bit hard to see with the jacket on, so we'll get a closer look at that shading when we do check out the articulation. But for this one, unlike the recent Goku release, which I complained about being just on the front, this one is wrapped around the back, just not in on the joints, but the other parts of the legs there, you do get a little bit of weathering, which is nice. It does blend in and around a lot better. Then down to the base kind of plastic brown for the boots, and we do see some of the skin colouring and the red and yellow highlights underneath for its ankles though. Probably a little bit hard to see on the camera here, but when we check out the articulation you should be able to see that coming through. So yeah, I think overall he definitely pairs well with the other Nemec releases, and I think he's got a little bit more attention to detail compared to, I would say, like Zarbon and Dodoria, right, which were really just base plates, a bit too shiny, a bit too basic. Whereas now he's looking really good. Definitely very, very reminiscent of the Piccolo from the Z line, which is still one of my favorite figures, which is actually getting a re-release, so I'm definitely going to have to pick up a second copy for myself. But I would like to see a whole new release for a Z Piccolo, as I mentioned, with all those effects. But yeah, anyway, let's pop now off the turntable here so we can check out the articulation on this release. So we'll start off with the jacket on, and as you can see, it will flex and bend out of the way, but it definitely is quite a bit thicker and will eventually go back to its default position a lot easier compared to other figures. I would have liked if this was that really thin rubber that we have on the Jujutsu Kaisen figures like Geto, which is super easy to bend out of the way when posing. Unfortunately, I think for most, if you are going to pose now with this jacket on, it's going to be a bit more of a static pose for the most part, but that definitely would have been a nice improvement to have. Now I will take this off in a moment, but before I do, I want to just kind of show the head rotation with the top on. It doesn't seem to hinder it too much. That may get in the way slightly, but you can look down without too much issue, and same with looking back, so it's really good there. And then again with the arms, coming forward, definitely it will hinder the articulation, since it is going to be a hard stopping force, so we don't get any bare minimum range of motion with the jumper on there. Same with going up and around, I would say. You can probably definitely force it a bit more if needed, but the limiting factor for articulation is definitely this jumper. So you might be asking now and then, how do we remove it? And that one's simple. We just pop the head off, and then for the arms, just underneath the shoulders, these pop off. And it's a really good system actually. Normally, as you know, I really despise the changing arm effect to fold arms, but this one here, a really nice mechanic for doing so. Pops off on and off real easy. So yeah, let me just move these in a little bit like so, I think, and then we can try to, it's a bit fiddly, kind of have to bend off one side at a time. There we go. And now we have a more articulated version of Nail. Let me put them back together and then we can continue on with the articulation. Okay, we've got our shirtless Nail here now. You can definitely see the articulation joints a lot better, and I feel like it should be a lot more fluid and easier to articulate. Like if you go up a bit higher, you can definitely cross the arms over a lot easier, though due to the giant pecs on, if you try to do it on a lower angle, it will hit in with his biceps, limiting it. So depending on the angle you want to go for, you may be a bit limited compared to some other figures, but if you lift it up a little bit higher, there's no issues there. Same with going up and around, like the joint on this guy feels really nice and fluid, which is good to see, especially in the upper shoulder area. So as we can see, we do have a main joint inside, then the one just in this where the shoulder, cuff joins, and then we get the bicep swivel. Elbow joint, kind of standing for a general figure, decently ranged, could be probably a little bit better, but it does hit the biceps, and it is double jointed though. Then we get the usual wrist peak joint, but yeah, everything there does feel nice and fluid at least, which is good to see. So next up is that torso. Let me move the arms up a little bit. So we do get a little bit of swivel up top. Going back, it's actually really good, check that out. And then going forward as well. So really nice range of motion there, especially when combined with the lower hip area. You can definitely look forward a bit more range could have been nice. I think you can lift up a little bit and bend forward, yeah. So pretty much in line with the other Dragon Ball figures for the style, I would say. And then we do get the hip swivel there, and then the legs itself, great range of motion there, awesome range actually. Going forward, that's about the limiting factor will hit. So yeah, some of the new figures, I guess this is where it comes down to the personal preference of the hard plastic versus the soft rubber. If it's soft rubber, you can bend it and then push it up higher, which is good for single poses and toy photography. But yeah, long term, I guess display not so good. But at least on the However, at least with this one, the forward motion is good, but you can go back a lot further as it doesn't have the extended butt flaps like those ones have. So yeah, again, I understand where they're going with a new design, but I still really love this version or this style. I'd like to see this one kind of combined with it there to get the best of both worlds, right? But anyway, as you can see, the weaving on the front leg there comes around to the back as well and underneath, which is great to see. And then the knee is double jointed with a nice range of motion there. And then we get the ankle swivel and then a nice peg on the boot there for a great range of pivot, forward and back motion, and the toe tip. So yeah, overall really nice range of motion in the lower leg area. This is definitely, I would still say, more in terms of the previous generation body design for the most part. I don't really see too much, I guess, new innovations implemented in this figure, and I don't think that's a bad thing. The Piccolo here was an amazing figure, right? Definitely I'd say a bit better range of motion than what this figure had, but it does help since it doesn't have the purple top there, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like the original, I shouldn't say original, the most recent Z Piccolo is a fantastic figure, and which still holds up really well, though we do get a bit more of a limitation in some points of articulation, which could be updated now. But it's still a solid figure, one that you can articulate well and pose how you'd want it from the series, and it still looks really good aesthetically speaking in terms of silhouettes as well. So yeah, I don't know, like especially with this one here, it feels quite a bit more old school. So I almost wonder if this figure was designed a long time ago and they've just been waiting for time to release it, or due to all the Dynamo releases and the superhero movie ones and so forth, it's just something that along the schedules keep getting shifted, right? So yeah, I'm really curious now if, like, say for example, if it was designed today, if they would have gone with a whole new design for the body. I guess that's a type of behind the scenes information that we won't get our hands on, but it would be really cool to hear the story for the development timeline process for this figure. But yeah, let me switch out a couple of parts so we can get a couple of poses, then we can jump into the final thoughts. Dude, check that out. Okay, this is just too cool. Okay, so this is the translucent arm that's popped off, so I pulled off the other one. Coming off was okay, going on this one's definitely a little bit tighter, so I took the whole arm off and then pushed it in. So if you are facing troubles, I do recommend doing that. It will make it a bit easier. But man, check that arm out, it looks so cool. And then for the faceplate that I have here, this is the one-eye shark screen one. So cool, the veins popping, you got like the sweat drops coming down. This here definitely pairs beautifully with that arm, which you can kind of see here with all the parts coming out. Oh, it's so cool. Oh man, I really want more effects like this, especially for Piccolo. And then we also get that faceplate to recreate the iconic scene where Nail's there on the ground and Piccolo comes in and finds him just lying there, which is awesome. Look at that face, we got one eye shades, just barely awake, just waiting for Piccolo to come along and like suck up his Namekian power. Right, so really cool to see. But I had to send this pose, but yeah, so bloop, put him down. Like so. But yeah, let's switch up to another pose. So I think one of the cool things about the Namekian was like we got so much more kind of background history for a lot of the stuff that we'd kind of started seeing at the start of the Saiyan Saga, and especially with like Piccolo fighting, right? And then like you kind of find out, okay, there's two different types of Namekians, like, you know, the healer type, then the fighter types, and then that was the first real fighter that we saw besides Piccolo, right? And it was just really cool when he's that power fighting Frieza, and he's kind of holding his own kind of for a bit there, or at least you think he is, and then this Frieza just keeps powering up and just absolutely destroys him. And it just kind of really sets the ground for Frieza being just so powerful, and such a means that is anyone going to be able to defeat him? It kind of like keeps building up that suspense, right? And it also kind of shows that you know, all the different types of Namek people as well, and that yeah, Nail is actually pretty strong, and then like when Piccolo comes in and they fuse together and they kind of get their revenge slightly. I don't know, it's just one of those things which I always thought was like pretty cool with that whole arc in the series. But yeah, let's get a close look at this faceplate because it's really cool. So this is the TF21 one, perfect for those pirate poses, but he does have some subtle kind of blue purple lines underneath his eyes as well, which is really nice to see. So pretty cool detail in there, along with the veins popping above as well. So yeah, again, really nice detail on each of these face plates. He also comes with the mouth open shouting one, locking off to the side, which is cool. So it's pretty nice to pair up with a flat hand for like a key blast attack style pose. But yeah, again, all the detail. I love all the veins popping out, even in this one, like between the eyes, between his eyebrows as well. Like really well, it's got the line coming there. It gives it so much detail, and then one eye being slightly bigger than the other. Definitely leans into the extreme expression, which is cool to see. Oh yeah, we have the Piccolo nail, I don't know, lineup. And you might be noticing something here. Yeah, that is right. Nail's arm fits on the Z Piccolo. That means you can use this effect with that Piccolo. Oh, it's so cool. I actually ordered 2 now, just about to do that. Though, to be fair, I haven't opened up the second one yet. I've got Daima Piccolo here, just for a comparison for skin colors and tones. Obviously, the Daima Piccolo and the superhero one went more with the manga colors, so therefore it doesn't match up at all due to the pink versus yellow and so forth. But with Dende down there as well, looking really cute, I wanted to show off with the arm for Piccolo. So yeah, this is, let me get kind of angled, there we go. This is Piccolo's arm, this is Nail's arm. And yeah, they match up really well. Even the skin tones is really good, and everything that is matching well. But yeah, let me just switch this back around, and then we can jump into the rest of the pros and cons for this figure. Actually, one more change here. This is Piccolo head, Nail Piccolo. I don't know, they cut from the same cloth. It does kind of seem like they use the cloning tool. But it's great that they match on all the skin tones match as well, which I'm sure then that means you can take the top half of this body, lower half of this body, and clip them together. I'm pretty sure you should be able to do that. I might leave it for someone else to try, but yeah. Let's get the lineup sorted out again. We can continue on with what we were originally going to do, which was the pros and cons. So yeah, pros and cons. Obviously this huge pro is the effect. It is amazing, and the fact that we can switch the parts with the Piccolo, that is just yeah, tenfold really cool. So yeah, obviously head swaps okay, arm swaps okay. I'm gonna assume the torso is fine as well, because I'm pretty sure the lower leg design is exactly the same. Mine's a little bit tight, so I don't want to force it off, but if I get some time later, I might try and head up and try to pull it off. Or if someone else out there has these figures and have done it already, definitely drop a comment below. But yeah, coming back to the figure at hand, the rest of the pros, detail and colouring I think is really nice there. In fact, we do get weaving around the legs, it's great. I like the matte finish for the pink areas on the body, which is great, and it does pair beautifully with the Piccolo that we do have. The fact that we can take off the outer jumper is a huge pro in my hands, because I don't think this jumper is that good. That is definitely a con for me. I feel like the rubber's too thick, it is a bit limiting. Even just doing a normal standing pose with this attached, it does make it hard to do the different points of articulation, the upper pec area, the inner torso, and then below hip area. Each one is a little bit fiddly. I think they could have learnt a lot from, again I come back to the Jujutsu Kaisen line. There was another figure recently that had a really good outer one as well. I can't remember what figure that one was, but I know they can do them in a really thin, well molded style, right? I think this is a bit too basic and thick. But yeah, the other obviously huge pro, we got Nail. Who would have thought we'd have Nail? It's really cool we have him now with Dende. I think originally everyone thought these two would have come as a nice pair. We didn't expect to get that giant Purunga, where the Dende came from. But I know, it would be nice if we got another release down the line, a set that comes with another Dende for those that didn't pick up Purunga, so you can have them together. I think that would be a nice bonus for other collectors, or especially newer collectors, right? The expressions, again, are fantastic throughout this whole figure. I think everything, for the most part, this is pro after pro after pro. The main or biggest con that I have, besides the his outer vest thing, is in relation to the hand here. It is very hard to change it. So it pops out. Okay, the arm part is okay. Pulling it out of this arm is okay, but once it's fully attached to this one, it is very hard. I had to get pliers. Now, in my mind, if you are designing a part to be interchangeable, you shouldn't need to go get pliers to take it apart. Now, mine might be extra tight, so it could vary from figure to figure. However, obviously in the Dragon Ball line, I would say tolerances are generally not good, and the playability or enjoyment factor of user, I don't think is a high consideration. I've mentioned that in previous videos as well when changing parts and so forth. So for me, that is a huge con. I think if a part is designed to change, it should be easy. Like the upper arms, fantastic. I think that is obviously directly inherited from this Piccolo, which was a huge improvement over other figures. But maybe having, I don't know, it is a bit hard, you don't want it too loose either, but I feel like some type of redesign there would have been nice, or to have the arm fully attached with the upper part. Might have been slightly more expensive, but it would have been a better user end experience. So yeah, for me that is the main con that I have with this figure. Again, overall not a huge issue, I would say, but let me know in the comments below what you think about it as well, if you had issues changing those parts. And also let me know your overall thoughts on this release, because I think he's probably the best Dragon Ball figure we've had all year. And yeah, it's kind of weird to say, like I was talking with 86, and actually this year we haven't really had many good figures from the Dragon Ball line, I would say. So yeah, I can't remember what else is coming out next month. I need to double check again. I've got a feeling it's Saichordo, right? Or was he Jan? But anyway, one more month left of the releases, and then we'll have to do a full top 10 for 2025. And I think this year, yeah, it's going to be an interesting lineup, I think. Definitely keen to see, and I'm looking forward to hearing everyone else's thoughts on your top 10 figures for the year as well. But anyway, that's it for this review. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers!